Hypity hype hype. I'm zmoT. That sounded really lame, but nonetheless, we've got a bug fix inbound. Boom Beach Game on Reddit replied to a faithful Redditor saying, hey, tomorrow, big bug fix coming out. We're going to fix lots and lots of bugs, so maybe wait until tomorrow to do your Operation Attack. Maybe do it before tomorrow if you're worried about something else, but nonetheless, we have got explosive critters. In my tribal video yesterday and my prototype video yesterday, I was too worried about other things and I failed to notice that they were here, but they are here now. I'll show you some stats. You get them at Armory level 8. They go all the way up to Armory level 22. They've got a bunch of hit points and they do a bunch of damage. And the reason why I show this screen is if you click on them, it says level 1 regardless of what level you are. As you can see here, I am Armory level 18 and I'm showing them as being level 1. So you get 5 of them. They have, for me, they'll have 260 health and do 1297 damage per critter. They're a little bit finicky. I saw a lot of people on Facebook and Twitter saying they suck, they're useless. I don't entirely agree. They are a bit finicky. We're going to go with that as our description. You have to plan them fairly well. We'll walk through DrT and I'll show you how I've been using them. So stage 1, if you simply drop them, like if we just simply drop them right about here, for example, when they drop, they're stunned for 2 seconds. So if they blow up before they get to the building, they're useless. If you allow them to die before they get to the building, like we'll drop them in here, thankfully these buildings don't have much damage, so they might actually make it there. Oh yeah. So what you need to do is drop them way out here and let the stun wear off, and then they'll run to something and explode it properly and be fairly useful. If you drop them right on top of a max level machine gun or something, they're not going to do anything good for you and they'll be useless. So let's do some quick math here. What have we got? We got Armory level 18, 1400. We'll call that 1500. So they're doing about 65 or 7500 damage for me, which is more than my artillery or barrage, about what a barrage can do. So essentially we're getting a free barrage for 5 GBE, cheaper than not. And I'll try and show you right here what I'm talking about. So we're going to drop right in there. I assume that mortar is going to wreck a couple of them before they explode. No, it didn't. So at the low level, they seem to be pretty useful. I'm used to using them on my high level account, and they have not been overly useful unless you plan them a little bit. So look at this, doing quite a bit of damage to the headquarters. They don't cost a heck of a lot of GBE, so as long as you plan them fairly well, you don't have to. I mean, you don't have to do all that great of a job, but look at that. We just barraged down stage 2 using nothing but explosive critters. We should clickbait the heck out of that. I almost said crap and then changed to heck. You know that I am used to being around children when I'm censoring the word heck and crap. Okay, now, maybe if we drop them right here, I can show you what I'm talking about. We're going to drop them right there. They stay stunned for 2 seconds, and now the machine guns manage to take them out, and they do absolutely no damage if you don't plan it well. So, obviously, one way to get around that is to drop them far away from anything. I'll show you that here in a second. Let's drop them right about here. So nothing should range back there. Maybe that one sniper tower. They drop, they get stunned, and then they run up and explode your face off. Just a matter of figuring out where to drop them. The other option that I've been doing a fair amount is smoking them. By dropping them into smoke, it only costs a little bit extra GBE as long as you're not doing this big, huge, long walk. But this way you can guarantee that that building is going to get hit and it will get wrecked. It takes a little bit more time, but every single one of our critters dropped. Let's drop it without the smoke. And you'll see we're going to lose a couple here. They're going to get hit by the shock. He did a little bit of damage, but now they're stuck underneath that shock. So not quite as useful. Now that we've covered how to use them, the other option is I don't have critters on this account. So I end up getting critters, which is a huge benefit. And I know that I don't show a lot of critter gameplay on this account because I can't. But critters are extremely useful. Even if these things never explode, they can be used extremely well to make your attacks better and save your troops and make you not have to spend diamonds, which honestly is the best possible option. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to drop our critters into this smoke. That smoke will expire first, and now I'm not going to use, look at this, everything targeted, the critters. Obviously the critters exploded, probably want to drop them a little bit later, but you get the idea. You can use them to distract defenses. That shock launcher never shot us. It'll become more obvious as we get onto the later stages. That's one of the things that I want to stress. On the lower stages of Dr. T, you could just walk your troops up with no smokes or shocks at this level and not have a problem. So trying to show off the abilities of these things on the low level bases is not such a great idea. This hopefully will go a little bit cleaner. We'll find out here in a second. Let's go like this, and like this. Using extra smokes to drop our critters in. I'm gonna go, we're gonna drop critters in there and critters in there, and they should still be stunned, I believe. Let's see here. No, did not work nearly as well as I would have hoped. You have to drop them as late as you possibly can so they don't explode, just to get defenses to target them. We saved a little bit of time there, but still was not ideal. Hopefully you're picking up what I'm putting down. Do as I say, not as I do. I have to assume the average person who's watching this is going to be more skilled than I am right now, so we will just carry on, and I will try to show off what I'm talking about, even if I keep failing. That's one of the things. My videos, when I show like those perfect attacks of how to use critters and smokes and operation drops and stuff, it has taken me lots and lots of attempts. I will say that it generally takes me a whole lot of attacks to get something that is useful. We're going to drop these things over in here, and we'll shock here. Hopefully that will help us out a little bit. See, shock launcher fired on the critters. There's no rocket launchers. I'm trying to show off how these critters are going to save our troops, and there's no rocket launchers to save them from. So very, very easy stage 5. Not really helping us out at all, but there's an update coming. Did I mention that? Update, bug fix inbound, bug fix inbound. Let's flash that on the screen just for maximum effect. Now, I know I've seen a lot of complaints about these things, and Mr. PSC Life Ryan said it best, I think, basically saying, even if these things are terrible, as long as they don't introduce more bugs, they're new gameplay. Try them out, see if they work, see if you like them, and if you don't, then it doesn't really affect you. Like, just keep playing as is. I know that obviously we like to have new exciting things all the time and new shiny toys and stuff, but really, as long as they're not introducing more new different bugs, it's just something new to mess with, which is probably a good thing in most circumstances. I don't know. Let's go like this. We're gonna drop our critters right about here and shock right about here. And where's the critters? Critters taking some rocket fire, hopefully. Yeah, so not ideal. Go away. Please don't let me fail on stage 6. Come on, MVP Rock, MVP Zookas. So definitely not the same as regular critters. Regular critters land, they spread out, and that spread gives you a little bit of extra time for your troops to do some damage. The fact that they don't spread means you're going to have to plan a little bit better than I am, because they're either not spreading or they're... Where's the... Oh, way over there. Okay. Now, hopefully we can distract these 2 shore rockets. That's all I want to do in this attack. All I want to do is zoom, 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 and a boom, boom. Let's get these up to here, hopefully. I'm assuming there's like going to be like 3 people that recognize that reference. I don't even know what that reference is. Half the time I say things, I don't know where it's from, and people are like, people name the artist's name and which album that was on, and I don't get any of those references. I just get things popping into my head and then try to not totally butcher it. Okay, so we got Zookas into position. We've got a whole bunch of GBE left. I'm going to have to use at least 2 shocks over here. 1, 2, and drop some critters in there. Come on, explosive critters. There's some explosive critters, and they died instantly. So, not a lot of health on these things, as you saw. I don't know, I feel like they're not the best. And combine the fact that they're not the best with me not being the best, and you end up with a few problems. On PvP, they work fairly well because you can use them as a free barrage, as long as you, like, say for example, we go like this, 7 GBE for a barrage is not bad. We can remove this machine gun. You have to be way more patient than I am. I do not like waiting at all. Like, and then boom. So, does alright, but less than ideal. Obviously, I'm sure some of you are using them in different ways, but this is how I'm doing it. And, I mean, they've saved me on a couple PvP bases. On very high level bases with like 7 boosted ice, I have had my troops get to core and they're hammering away at core, and there's been like a mortar off to the side that has been wrecking my troops, and I have already used barrage to clear 2 shock blasters and things. So yes, they are useful, but you have to use them in a very exact manner, and I am not doing it here because this is not going terribly well. This time we're just going to do it with 3 shocks. I'm going to ignore and use a medkit instead. And that's one of the problems that I run into, is that I only have so many fingers. Oh, I don't even have a medkit. Wow. We're going to get wrecked again. 1, 2. Oh, maybe. Wow, stage 7. Too much talking, not enough attacking. What ends up happening is I only have so many fingers and skill levels, so I need to drop critters, I need to drop a medkit, I need to plan the critters, and I end up failing as a result. So maybe you're doing this better, but wow, just awkward. So many fails. I'm just going to do it the old-fashioned way. Ignore these silly little critters, and hopefully we can... Actually, you know what? Let's try a silly flare. This flare is going to be a terrible, terrible idea, but we're going to save a little bit of GBE, maybe. Oh, man. No, we're not. That's terrible. Where's Charles Barkley when you need him? I need a Charles Barkley sound clip. Terrible. Because today is terrible, for sure. But the bug fixes are coming. Did I mention that? Explosive critters. I'm trying my best to make these things work. I promise I've gotten a couple good uses out of them on my main account. But on Dr. T, this is not going extremely well. It's not going well at all. Let's get a little bit gappy smokes going, and then we'll get. That's a bit of a mumble there, mumble mouth. Okay, so now we have enough to do 2 shocks and a medkit if we want, or 3 shocks. I'm gonna do 2 shocks and a medkit because I love medkits. Come on, medkit. Let's get some critters down in here. Maybe just to distract for a second. Oh, look at that! They worked! They worked! Booyah! Not ideal. Dropped the critters a little bit late, but they distracted the rockets for just enough for us to take down the headquarters. See, I told you they'd work. I just suck at making things work, apparently. So, that's all you really need to know for today. Today is April 17th on the archipelago, April 16th in real life for me due to time zones. Why do I still have Lasertrons, you're going to ask? Because I bought them at the end of the trader, clearing map with them a ton, lots and lots of attacks by me that you can't see here. I actually got some intel for my task force, yay me. Otherwise, that's it, that's all. This stream, like all others, was brought to you by Patreon-type people who are supporting me and helping and all of that good stuff. Consider going to patreon.com/thezmoT, and that's my new end screen. Thanks for coming in. Talk to you soon.